Well, welcome back to another episode of At the Movies. I'm Scott Wolfile, and we are here to talk about the movies and why we think the movie-going experience is so impactful and what it means as an exhibitor to bring that experience to an audience. And so with me, as usual, is Brandon Jones, Danielle Hawthorne, James Faust, and Melissa Boudreau. So how has everyone been doing? We can do a quick little catch-up. Any news?
Well, the first new movie is hitting theaters this weekend in a really long time, and I actually got to chat with Mark Gill, who's the CEO of Solstice, this week to kind of talk about their marketing strategy with that, why they decided they wanted to be the first one straight out the gate, because Unhinged is hitting theaters
tomorrow. Wait, tonight?
This weekend.
Tonight. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
It's in previews tonight, or?
Yes, it is. 7 p.m.
Does anybody have the option of seeing it?
Yeah. We could go see it here in Dallas.
Yeah.
Danielle
and I are committed to going to see it this weekend in a theater.
So jealous.
So jealous.
We don't have that option.
We don't.
Yeah,
unless we drive to Ohio.
I'm not doing it. I'm not taking the theater chance. I thought about seeing Bill and Ted's. Isn't it this week or next week?
Next week is Bill and Ted's, but you can also see that one at home.
Yeah,
not exclusively in theaters like our good friends at Solstice going all in on the theater experience.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. To be honest with you, just not there yet. It'll be a little bit longer, and if I was to go, I would say, can I just buy all the tickets?
You can do that. That's a choice.
Yeah.
Rent an auditorium.
Yeah, like no one else comes in here, and I walk in. If I see you walk in here, you better be wearing, a Lysol suit.
And I think that makes sense, right? Like everybody has to be at their own comfort zone of where they're at and what they're comfortable with, what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it's a road, right? It's a road back. But let's see, what else are we doing? Melissa, you had a little vacation, got out into the wilderness.
I did. I got to see some trees and a beach with a lake that looks like an ocean. So if you're not from Michigan, the lakes here are very big. And so that was really nice. Did some hiking, got away. And so when I was asked what I was watching this past week, I told everyone I've been watching sunsets, but I do want to share 2 films that I did watch while we ended up being up north. We figured out how to do it on the TV. The Lost Boys, which I probably watched literally like 10,000 times as a child. Like I knew I had to bring that up, and it has been so long since I've seen it. So caught the tail end of that and was, so great. You're eating maggots, Michael, famous line. And then I also saw Baby Driver. So obviously that's only a couple years old, but I had never seen it before.
Isn't it so good?
Oh, it's so good. I watch it once a month.
You've never seen it.
I had not seen it. No.
Oh man.
So
good.
That one specifically is, so much better in a movie theater.
I know. I was watching
the way everything.
TV.
Oh.
Like that movie deserves a movie theater presentation. Absolutely, hands down.
There you go with the Lost Boys background.
Yes.
I think what's interesting is during this time that there's some smaller films that I think normally would get way overshadowed or get these smaller releases. And Wellgo, which happens to be based here in Dallas, so shout out to those guys, they're releasing Cutthroat City, and the director of that, I mean, he's got a huge resume, but
it's RZA.
It's RZA. And I mean, just the writer of I Feel Pretty, right? Perfect fit. But so this is an opportunity, like you could get a cool action urban movie in a movie theater that normally would have gone probably straight to streaming or straight to Redbox or whatever. And so that's a cool movie to go see in theaters. The other one that they're releasing is Peninsula. So if you like Train to Busan, then this is the sequel to the 2016 Train, and it has it's going to be amazing. Another movie that when you see, if you haven't seen it before, is a great movie to see in a movie theater. Zombies attacking and fighting and all that.
It's funny you brought up like this is the perfect opportunity for those smaller films to actually get a release in the theater, because when I was talking to Mark from Solstice, that was one of the reasons they were like, we are going to be the first film back in theaters, because instead of the question being which theater or which movie am I going to go see, it's that movie is the only movie playing, so I'm going to go see that movie. It just gives the opportunity for these other films that don't normally have a space or a place. It actually gives them the chance to be seen in that format.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that this is a unique time that when you could catch something else. So if Unhinged isn't for you, and by the way, the horror films have been doing really well in movie theaters during this time with some smaller releases, The Rental, Amulet, The Reckoning, or The Wretched. Like those movies have been doing well, and the horror audience has been continuing to support them in theaters. I mean, small box offices, but comparatively during this time, I think that's great. So that audience seems to be primed and ready to get back to the theaters. And this weekend has a couple offerings outside of Hinged.
And I do feel like there's been a lot of press about theaters that are reopening. And, you know, I know around the country, really, there's a lot of reopenings that are starting to happen, mostly this week and next week. So I don't know how many states. Does anyone have a tally of states that are open versus closed?
No, but we're getting
more on the open
wider
versus more on the closed.
I think we're in the 40s in total count. I want to say I remember that being said the other day.
Yeah.
Are you guys the kind of movie watchers? This is how I am. Like if I am watching a movie, or even if something's on TV and I'm watching it, I cannot handle being interrupted. Like I cannot handle somebody trying to talk to me or do anything while this movie's on. And I'm the worst about being nice about it.
I bet Brandon has some words to say about that. Very
Notice
quiet.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He knew the right way to go. Just keep those lips closed. No comment. I do not like it when people talk. Again, another reason why we all love going to the movie theater, because you shouldn't hear anything when you're in a theater.
It's true. But there's also this, there are certain movies out there that counter that culture, you know, that the more you interact with the film, the better the experience is. And
Any Tyler Perry film.
Any Tyler Perry Rocky Horror Picture Show, like those are ones that people come out and they just love to get involved in the movie. Another one I think is The Room.
Yes.
People get involved in that one too.
I have mad respect for Tyler Perry, but I can honestly say I've seen 2 Tyler Perry films, maybe 3, of these 664 films he's done in the last 4 years. So
I told you that I'm Mud to the damn D-E-A.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm on a morning radio show now. With like a
I
little
like that.
soundboard effect.
James, do you have like a keyboard over there where you can just play things?
It's a Medea's Big Happy Family in theaters, April 22nd. Chotskis.
I love Medea.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is awesome.
I love Medea.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of these.
Hallelujah.
See, that's what I miss too, is like those little things that you can get at a movie release.
Yes.
You know, they add another layer, another dimension to the experience, or, you know, it's some sort of like little iconic keepsake that reminds you of, you know, where you were when you got this thing. And the Medea stuff, like the marketing campaign that they did for, I think it was Boo 2, was so brilliant. They mimicked a bunch of other iconic horror movie posters.
Yes, they
like
did.
Halloween and The Exorcist. And it was brilliant. Like I wanted a bunch of those posters because they were so well done, because they, you know, they've crafted their own universe and their own culture, but they still show respect to this genre that they're kind of getting into, which is
all right. I'm going to show the movie prop that I have. They're not prop, the movie tchotchke that I have on my desk that I use every single day.
Oh,
please tell me if you know what this is from.
Oh, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. But this is also
I
Got this. It's a Initech is from Office Space. That's the
Yeah.
company
Oh,
that they
okay.
work for.
Yeah.
And I use this mouse pad.
How did
It's
you get
literally
that?
the mouse pad that I use. I went to a movie theater. That's how I got it.
If things are getting real, somebody else is pulling out a mouse pad.
Yeah, so I guess we got to remind people that if you're not watching the video version, you don't get the
I know,
visual
so you have to
experience
tell everyone.
of seeing everything.
Oh,
White
they,
House
House
down.
so basically, what we're saying is when you go to a movie theater,
Oh, God.
you
That's
can get a
great.
cool
That
mouse
is great.
pad, which
Mhm.
I'm like looking
Uh,
around. All I have are Funkos. I do have some books. Like I have a Wreck-It Ralph art book in here. I've got Shape of Water. So Guillermo del Toro is one of my favorite directors. I love him so much. And Shape of Water came out, and I was like, this is the movie that I have been waiting for that I didn't even know I've been waiting for. I saw it probably like 6.5 times.
I
And
feel
half?
like there's a lot of mixed reviews on that film.
well, it's an Oscar winner.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
best
Oh, I
picture.
loved it
I think
so
it-
much.
I would have to go to. I've got a closet full of stuff. I'm gonna bring. I
We
think
need a closet. We have a garage
Yeah.
full of movie stuff.
This is a
Oh, yes.
zero dark 30 USB.
wristband
Yeah.
port.
Like,
I
So that's what
mean-
we need to do Scott, in an upcoming episode when you are giving us our run sheet. It needs to be. We should do show and tell.
Yes.
Oh, we should.
Of movie marketing
Stuff.
and movie tchotchkes and things that we picked up by going to the movie theater.
Oh, I've got a ton of it. I got a ton of old stuff too.
Yeah.
We'll be here all
A
week.
ton of buttons. Like, yeah, one of the things that was usually a hot commodity when you were, 16, 17 years old, working at a movie theater was like the little things that they would give you to help promote the movie. So I worked at a Goodrich quality theater, and our uniform was a white shirt, a black tie, and a really ugly, stiff maroon vest.
Love it.
And yeah, so they would give us buttons to put on our flair, if you
How
will,
much flair?
for the
Yep.
callback for Office Space. Yeah, so I still have a ton of that stuff. It's in a box somewhere. I'll dig it up.
I am going to. Yeah. So we'll put that on our run sheet coming up here. Prep us because we have some digging out to do.
That's the
I
top-
think we need to play some like movie trivia, which I won't participate in, but I'll sit here and watch. That way.
Normally, I would feel good with movie trivia, but I feel like James and Scott would
Yeah, I'm out.
probably go.
I think James and Scott would win that one.
I'll go on mute and just eat popcorn and watch you
I
guys.
didn't know
I'm
what
happy
Initech
to-
was. I don't remember that one. That
Oh.
one slipped by me. Although we did have a red stapler that they made just because of that movie. Because I think you told that story before, Brandon.
Yeah.
I do have one.
He has a stapler in his closet.
I've got the prop certificate with it somewhere, but
Ooh.
Wow.
Then
I don't have the piece of cake that he ate though. That would be a little hard to keep around.
You could try it. I keep thinking I have more
We've gone off
stuff
the
in there.
rails.
we have.
gone up.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna try to put us back on course here.
Appreciate it.
So
You don't want us to talk about old moldy cake?
I mean, we can really have that discussion if everyone wants to hear that discussion. I'll talk about anything, but we are here for a very specific directive. So, so I think one of the things we were talking about from episode 2 that definitely had a lot more layers than we were able to actually get into was all of the enhanced moviegoing experiences that you can have nowadays. And whether or not some of those experiences are good or whether or not they're bad, who's to say? Maybe us, because that's why we're here. So does anyone have any, experiences or stories about, some of the more enhanced options? I know that in the last episode, Brandon had mentioned a viewing of Dunkirk that he had to walk out of because it was just too much. So I don't know. I'm curious if anyone else has any similar experiences or things that they've heard that are going to be coming in the future that could revolutionize the industry.
So I got to try 4D for the first time earlier this year, going back to I think it was either January or February. I had never been to a 4D theater, and for those of you that are listening who have not been to a 4D theater, if you have ever been to like Disney World, and gone into the theaters where the chairs move. You have like the scents spray in your face. You have air sometimes, maybe a little mist, water, and you get to actually move with the movie and experience some of the sensory effects of the film. That's kind of what 4D is in a movie theater. And I just got to experience it briefly, but as I was experiencing it, I was actually at a Showcase Cinema up north, and they were telling me how one of like their really popular films for it had been Jurassic World. And I thought, yes, can you imagine if this 4D tech was in a theater when that first Jurassic Park came out and the T-Rex stepped and you just see the cup of water on the dashboard, like, and you're just kind of sitting there and you don't know what's coming and your seat's vibrating. You kind of feel a little mist because you're in this misty, dark, jungle waiting for a giant dinosaur to come out. And then all of a sudden your seat feels like it takes off because this dinosaur is chasing you. Like, that made me really want to see the next Jurassic World in a 4D theater. I'm really excited to get back to try that in its full, like to watch an entire movie with that. Because I think that's a game changer for me. Because I want to feel like somebody took me and literally like threw me into it.
Yeah,
I'm good with my heated recliner. Sorry, guys. My heated recliner, my little blanket. Good night.
Coming from Mrs. Michigan.
There it is.
But
I'm snowing there right now.
I'm kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
What was that tech that we tried when we went to CinemaCon and Sony had
they give you a vest. You wore a vest.
Yes. So we tried this.
Wait till the fight scene happens and you get your ass beat by the vest.
I mean, we're not even kidding. They like put these big vests on you and you have like sensory things attached to your hands and your feet and all this stuff. And during a fight scene, it was literally like somebody was punching you in the back and you're like, oh. And you're kind of looking around like,
I got the wind knocked out of me.
But why? Like,
but why?
Our ass kicked.
Just to push the envelope.
Well, sure.
That's really to the next level.
Of course, and like I'm not huge in like the VR world a little bit, and I think the one thing that has kind of proven to me overall is those experiences have to be limited, because too much of that it's either you have to create specific content for the experience that you're having, which is why I think 4D at Disney or Universal or wherever it may be, the rides have to be 5 minutes, because if you sat through 2 hours of just nonstop extra sensory sensation, isn't that too much? And at what point do you not get to appreciate the artistic value of the film itself?
I think that speaks to there's different types of content that can fit and different platforms. So, I don't like 3D unless it is very specialized. Like, I could do the Avatar or whatever, but I don't need some animated movie that's 3D. But I do think that we will get to a point where you can go and be in an auditorium in the communal experience with VR, and you're actually participating and feeling and reaching and sensing all that stuff. So I think more of that is coming. And then sometimes I just want to go to a traditional auditorium and get a popcorn and a soft drink and bunch of crunch and just enjoy it that way. So
as many different enhanced movie-going experiences that there are, I know that it doesn't really take very much to get me into a movie theater. I know I've sat in some of the most uncomfortable seats or in the most uncomfortable places because there was just something there that I wanted to see. One that's actually quite memorable, the first time I saw the movie The Hangover, I saw it, it wasn't during its first theatrical run, but there was a local place in Ferndale, Michigan called the Magic Bag that used to be a theater at one point, but then it turned into a live venue. And they would do these things called brew and views. They would rent a movie, throw it up on the screen, and just have the bar be open. And usually they're like fun comedies. So my first experience seeing The Hangover was in a room full of, rowdy drunk people.
Yeah.
And there's like no comfortable seats. Like everything was just wooden benches. Like I sat on an empty beer keg and watched that movie.
That's
I
perfect.
feel like
That
that's
sounds
kind of fitting for
perfect.
that film, though. My hangover memory at a movie theater, I went and saw, I think it was the second or the third one. And I went and saw it at the ArcLight in
100
Los
minutes.
Angeles.
Wow.
And because they had
Hangover
a
3, 100
special,
minutes.
they had a special program, and I think they still do have this program. It's the old one that's near Sunset, that they do interviews with the directors and stuff or cast members after the show. And this one, I think it was either like live, it was a special screening of sorts. And I remember thinking, because at the time I had just graduated from college, I did not have very much money, and I spent like $30 on a movie ticket to go see this in this huge auditorium with all these people at the ArcLight. And I remember after that going, I spent $30 on a ticket to go see a hangover movie.
I'm wondering what's wrong with this.
Yeah,
Somebody was there for a Q&A, right?
Yeah, I stayed for the
Yeah.
Q&A.
yeah,
Who was
I
the
would have
Q&A
paid
with?
more for that.
I would
paid
have
way
paid for
more.
that.
It
I would
was,
have paid
it was an
$30.
on-screen Q&A. It wasn't a live Q&A. They
Oh,
did
I
it.
don't care.
It was live, but it was just on screen.
Yeah.
They should
LA
have-
prices.
They should have been
ArcLight.
there.
I love ArcLight theaters. I think they do
Yeah.
such a great job.
Yeah, when we
I
were
used
the
to love-
AFI Film Festival, that was our theater in LA. It was the ArcLight, the one you went to, which was next to the Cinerama Dome, which is
Yes,
now
that's
closed.
the
Which is
one.
closed.
Yeah.
Is
They
that
closed it.
not going to reopen?
It closed it last year. I mean, like right around, I guess no, it was this year. I think right around the time this stuff was starting, I think they were shutting it down. And that theater's, I mean, if you've never
That is
seen,
a classic.
Yeah.
it's got 3 projectors. It's that freaking God, what do they call it? I can't forget. Cinerama. And so you're in there with the 3 projectors, and the screen is massive. And I had a lot of good times in that theater. That was
It's yeah. I mean,
Go
they
walk
say-
around that theater because they always had new costumes and film
Mhm.
props on display.
yep.
There's always something new to see there.
We need to find out. Quick research project. We need to figure out if that is going to be permanently closed. It says temporarily closed right now,
Oh, good.
but
God.
everything is temporarily
Yeah.
closed in LA.
True.
And that should ultimately be a field trip for this group, is going to some of these iconic Hollywood movie palaces, literally.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'd love that, but I would take any movie theater at this point.
Hey,
I
we could do the,
I
we
think
could
I
do the
can get
whole
us
show.
a tour of the Chinese theater if anyone wants to do that.
Yes, I had a great movie going experience there. The the GM there still to this day, well, not to this day, but he introduces every single movie.
Yeah.
So when you go there, he gets
So
down
cool.
in front and tells you the history of the movie theater and how many times it's been in.
Hmm.
And funny reference. That's actually where I saw Dunkirk for the first time. Back to I don't know why that movie keeps coming up on this podcast. But
You are obsessed with Dunkirk.
I'm not. I just so my son and I were in LA, and he wanted to go do all these like sneaker stores, and the one thing I want to do was go see a movie at the Chinese in the big auditorium, and it was amazing, and it was everything I wanted. The curtains were closed, and there was, right before the movie comes out, he walks down in a suit, and he gets on the microphone and tells you the history, and he welcomes you to the show. Well, I forget his name, so apologize, but he lives like a few minutes away from the Chinese theater, and he will literally walk over before every single movie and introduce the show. It is so classic.
Wow.
And you just feel
So
like
cool.
you just let it all go because you know that movie going experience is going to be great. So I sat there with my popcorn and my Bunch of Crunch and got into
Bunch of crunches.
Is that your go-to is popcorn and Bunch of Crunch?
In the
This
traditional
is the second
theater,
time
it
he
is.
said Bunch of Crunch. So
Oh, yeah.
I feel like next time we all go to the movies, I know what Brandon's eating.
If we can all get to San Francisco, one of my good buddies worked with for 15 years or so now, he runs the Castro.
Oh,
And
That'd
so
be cool.
That is actually, for my wife's birthday, I had him put "Happy Birthday, Jen" on the marquees, and I snuck her around over there. out there. So yeah, I love that theater. It's old classic, and talk about it's a one house show and the things that they do there from an exhibit standpoint. Disney loves them. They make so much money for Disney. It's a thousand. It's like I think it's 1,200 seats in there, and
Yeah,
Wow.
it's huge.
it's sold out quite a bit. I mean, there's
So
there's
cool.
theaters all around them. So yeah, I'd love to. We should do that inside a theater.
Yeah.
You know, like do the show from in there or
Yeah,
somewhere.
once we're not in the Twilight Zone anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah, wait. There's news on Batman today too.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I think they started shooting again. Is that what they started?
Again, it starts up. It either started up again or it starts up in the next couple of weeks.
They're going to announce a teaser poster and a first look logo for
So that's gonna be Saturday at DC
during this week fandom.
Fandom.
Yeah, I read about that.
I love Batman. I mean, I love Batman. I mean, that actually is an experience in a theater. You're talking about those, seeing over the last 30 years of Batman that are out there and have been able to experience different versions. My God, it's been 3 in 30, since 1989. We've had, am I wrong? Is this just 3? Yeah. Well, 5 people playing Batman, but 3 visions of Batman in 30 years. So every decade you get something new, and that's experience.
How do you feel about the latest Batman?
I'm all in on Pattinson.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know. I got to see it to believe it.
No, he'll nail it. Like,
Nelly. He's been so good in everything recently.
oh yeah, absolutely everything. Like that guy has a phenomenal range. It was something I was actually just talking to my girlfriend about recently because, again, I think he got lumped into the pretty boy category with Twilight.
Yeah.
You know, and
I've never seen
he's
this
got
Batman, though.
he's got some serious acting chops. Like he's done, how many different A24 films that are just
Yeah.
every single one is you don't believe it's Robert Pattinson.
Good time, and you seem to like The Lighthouse a lot. I remember that one. And
The Rover was really good.
Oh God, yeah, he's so good. It's been, I like him a lot. I think he's going to be good. And then
I
he's
think I'm gonna have to see him as Batman to like get him as Batman.
No, he'll
Yeah.
nail it. I trust him. I trust him
I'm sure
completely.
he will.
Well, you can catch Robert in Tenet as well, so we can get a quick peek of him.
Coming up in just a few weeks.
an
Yeah,
hour.
someone get him on the show. Someone call him up and get him on the show.
Right. Let me.
Yeah,
Sure, he's available.
Bobby.
he's not busy.
Bobby P, what are you doing?
Well, again, it's such a pleasure talking to you guys. So I guess until next time, and hopefully we can see each other at the movies sometime, because it would be nice to be able to actually sign off with see you at the movies and actually have the ability to go to the movies.
Do we have a homework assignment from this episode? I think Danielle and I are going to go see a movie, so maybe that's we're going to go see Unhinged in
Report
a movie
back.
theater. Maybe that's...
Let us know all of the great details that we're missing out on. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Everyone here on the panel, if this is what we're going to call it, and everyone who's potentially listening. So yeah, enjoy going to the movies if you can. I can't, so enjoy it for me. Well, until next time, everyone, take care.
Bye.